Hi guys, Declan here, just giving you a wee video update there for the vlog and progress to the 70.3 world record. So the big question today is this record attempt over? Is it ended after yesterday's race? I'll share at the end of the video the answer to that. You may not like it, but I'll share that at the end of the video. So yesterday was, as every race is, it's a learning, a big learning. I felt reasonably good yesterday morning going into it. Swim start was in Marina around the boats, and it was actually very still, and I went out very fast, and then we got out into the water, and oh my god, I've never seen anything like it. I've never experienced anything like it. The swell was coming up and was tossing me back and forward, and I never swam in water like that before, and it was so difficult. I never faced conditions like that before, and it was so difficult, and I just was panicked, absolutely panicked, and I stopped and I started to breaststroke. The more I breaststroked, the more water I took in. The more water I took in, the more I just felt like giving up and just quitting. I was looking around saying, how am I going to get out of this? And but I kept going, looking for the boys, and I was swinging my arm up. The swell was coming up, I was swinging my arm up, and the swell would lift me, and then my arm would just end up in midair. So it was so challenging. But at that moment, you know, when things are true at us and in life, I just kept saying to myself, right, calm, relaxed, just one more stroke, take one more stroke. And then I just asked God to help me to get through this, because it was scary. But again, I'd never experienced that before. To other people it's probably normal, but it was a new experience. But thank God I got through it. I was all over the place, or so I thought, in the swim. And I says this must be 48 minutes, but I ended up at 39:33, which, considering those conditions, for me was bloody brilliant. And I swam exactly 1905 meters. How I did it was beyond me, because I was aiming away out left so the waves would pull me in, so that strategy must have worked. But the panicking, probably that's what the biggest part killed me, and I did a lot of it in breaststroke as well. So was delighted to finish and get out of the water. Look at this here, look. That's one of the benefits of this morning after. You get to spend a wee bit of time in a place like this. So delighted to get out of the water. It says I take my time in transition. First transition thing took about 6 minutes. And then it says just relax to bring the heart rate down, get onto the bike and heading out. The wind was on our back to the side of us slightly, and we were drifting along at 31k an hour, so I was feeling good, and I says this is going to be great. Then the wind was in our face, so I was going out, I think, for the first 20k or 25k at over 30 kilometers an hour, and then the wind sort of out, I think it was about 25k, it really hit us, slowed way down to 26k an hour, and then at the 45k mark I was looking forward, I was doing about 28k an hour, I was looking forward to just turning and having the wind in the back, and when I turned, the wind was on the back, and it was beautiful, just pushing you along 45k an hour. So I felt really good in the bike, enjoyed the bike, was pumping forward and actually overtaking people for the first time. But then the last 10-12k got me, and the wind was strange, and there was a few sort of hilly bridges and that got me, and it slowed me down a bit. So finished the bike. I thought I played it cool, as in kept the heart rate no more than 155. And I said, right, I'm getting off the bike now. I think I have the legs. But the whole time I was watching the time, because I had this idea in this race, right, I'm going to push this race and see what I can do time wise. And all the time I was calculating, okay, I'm not going to do 5:30, I'm still on for 5:45. And it was all about watching the clock, watching the time. And what I know is, after yesterday, is my race is not any individual one to get fast times. I'll do that once I get all this record over, and then I'll go out and I'll do 5 hours or under 5 hours. My race is to do 30 of these and still be able to survive it and get through it. And it's the collective time over the 30 races. So it's pointless me busting a 5:30 or a 5:20 and then collapsing on all of the other races. So from now on, I'm not interested in a fast time in a race. Only thing I'm interested in is getting through the race. And I've made that decision. So I got off the bike, started the run, started out okay for the first kilometre, and then my gut was just wrenching. I was like a balloon, bloated, swollen, and just couldn't get the legs running whatsoever. Was looking around at the beautiful scenery. The more I looked at the beautiful scenery, I started walking, and then the more I walked, the mind was saying to me, "Oh Jesus, you could just walk here and enjoy this. Just get through the race and walk and enjoy it and look around." And probably looking back now, I think there was more mental battle going on in that run, and I probably could have grabbed it and pushed it more. But anyway, it is what it is. So the run brought me way back, but it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. In the run as well. Coming towards the end of the run, I have to say to you, I was going through an absolute roller coaster, mental roller coaster. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What's the point in this? Who gives a flipping crap anyway? You know, what is the point in all of this? And I just, it's, you know, away from family, the whole lot, and the mind was just saying, you know, is there any point to this keeping going? And I was emotional. Tears was in my eyes. I was filled up, and I think, you know, what I learned out of that is, in order for this mind to expand, it has to go through some pain and torture to get to the next level. So you break the paradigm of where you're currently at in order to move to a new paradigm. And with that, sometimes you have to break down layers and break through them, and with that comes emotion and that. But it's the big thing is to not quit and not to give in, because it's easy to do that. So I finished the race and got the medal, and at the end of it all, and you know, don't know really what way I felt after it, but what I really felt was well, you know, am I going to continue? Am I going to continue with this record attempt at all? But the biggest lesson I learned yesterday was one stroke at a time. Life is going to toss you, it's going to turn you, it's going to spin you like a washing machine. No matter what you do, that's what's going to happen. And you have to just say one more stroke, one more step. I'm not going to give in. The mind will torture you at times, and you have to just take control of it and say, you know, one more stroke, one more stroke, one more lap, one more step, and that. And the big lesson I learned is, when you're going through challenges, and the swim yesterday it was a challenge, but it was a metaphor that we'll all go through challenges. And for me, when you're going through challenges, if you're trying to get through those challenges by yourself, you know what, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough, and you have to ask for help. And sometimes you can't ask other people, because maybe you're in the middle of water and you can't talk to people. So for me, yesterday, I asked for help to get through that race, and I asked that of God, and I got through it, thank God. And then sometimes you have to just say, relax and breathe, this is going to end, it's going to get better, relax and breathe. So the biggest question to me today is this record attempt over? Is it done? And the answer to that probably is, in one hand, could be yes, because if I can't raise money for the Super U and continue to raise money for the Super U, well, the answer is yes. And you know, all week, last week was a good week for donations. This week was 0 donations, and when I look at that, I go, what's the point? What is the point? So on one hand, if the donations didn't continue, but then I'd just pack the whole lot in, because it's not really worth it. But on the other hand, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. There is no way at the moment, and I'm going to keep going. If I have to crawl it, I'll crawl it, but I won't have to crawl it. I might have to walk it, but I won't have to crawl it. So the record attempt is very much still on, and it will not beat me, it will not defeat me. I will not give in, I will not quit in this. Last night, or just after the race yesterday, we were down in a wee place in Cove Beach having something to eat, and just sitting over from me was two-time Ironman world champion Chris McCormick, and then Alistair Brownlee walked over to as well, which two-time Olympic gold medalist and world triathlon champion as well. And here's the guy sitting over from me. So we went over, introduced myself to Chris, and he introduced me to Alistair, and got chatting to the lads and told them what I was up to. And Alistair said these words to me, which made me realise that, yeah, you can keep doing it, Declan. Alistair says, I would love to race every week, Declan. Sure, it would be easier than training. All you'd have to do is just race every weekend and do no training. And I kind of like that. So from now on, all I'm going to do is race every weekend, cut the training short during the week, and enjoy every minute of it. And my goal is not no individual times, and everybody encourages me to do faster times, and I appreciate that, but from now on, it's not about 5:30, not about getting faster for me. I'm not interested in focusing on that anymore. The only goal that I'm focused on is the end outcome. And in life, I think that's true for us all, in business or whatever. It's always just to focus on the end outcome. We can have the mini goals, monthly goals, we can have the yearly goals, but don't let them define you. Because many small individual mini goals, sometimes when you focus too much on them, you push them away from yourself. So focus on the end outcome. For me, it's 30 half Ironmans. That is all that I'm focused on from now on. And if by focusing on that I achieve better times in between, so be it. But I'm not interested anymore in focusing on individual races and individual times. My coach Brian McChrystal told me to do that anyway, but when people are encouraging you to do faster times and all that, that can be sometimes difficult, and when you have a nice course like this as well. Other thing was the heat. I don't like the heat. Well, I do like the heat when you're doing nothing in it, but when you're racing in it, it's tough. So again, I have to figure out a strategy for that as well. So listen, that's the update from Dubai 70.3 Ironman. It's over, it's done. My flight's home in the morning. Look at this. The pain was worth it to experience this today. So listen, if you can share this video, if you can make a donation to the Super U, there'll be a button there below the video or somewhere. If there's anybody out there that would like to sponsor the Super U, any businesses that would like to come on board in your area, sponsor Super U. The guys who go in, do events in your area, speak to kids, share tools and ideas with them for mental and emotional well-being, tools that will empower them, tools to say to them, listen, you can do anything, you can be anything, and you can have anything you want in life. Don't listen to everybody else that tells you to give up, to quit, to give in, to play small. It's all just rubbish. Live your dreams, go for it. And yes, there will be times you'll be questioning yourself, but you know what? Just take the next stroke, the next step, and never give in. So make a donation to Super U. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks a million for all your support. Talk later. Bye.